Welcome or welcome back, beautiful souls, to the channel. I'm Shika, your conscious mentor, and today I will be going over the April new moon in Aries on April 1st, 2022, and what you need to know. In this video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 things you need to know, as well as pulling some intuitive cards. So get some tea, get comfortable, and let's get into this very powerful but very fiery sign, which there's a lot of things that are going to be coming up in this new moon. So before we get into the video, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, put notification bells so you don't miss a video. I do new moon and full moon energy updates every single month for you lovely souls, and I will also be posting a distance energy healing meditation. So make sure you subscribe and do put notification bells so you don't miss it. My stage is going crazy. One sec. So yeah, I'm really excited. I also have a really exciting news for you guys. So I have another mystery program that will be happening on the second week of April. And for me to really make sure that you guys, my community, gets access to shadow work, the opportunity with this mystery program is you only know when it starts. So it's starting on the Friday of the second week of this April coming up. And it's going to be a beautiful, deep healing. It's going to be powerful, and it's something that where shadow work starts. So here's a little riddle. It's where shadow work starts, and it's not where shadow work ends. It's a place where people need to heal first to allow themselves to access all their abilities. So I'm really excited. This is probably going to be one of my favorite ones this year. The energetic exchange for this is $88. So if you are interested, it will only be acceptable and received until March 29th. So as of March 29th, you get access to the mystery program, not knowing anything but when it is going to be. And then after that, I will be announcing on the day next week after the 29th, what exactly it is. So anyways, all the details will be there. If you want to sign up, just DM me on Instagram. I'm ready for the great mystery, and I will hold your spot for you. Remember, you have until next week, Monday. Next week, Monday, the 28th. Next week, Monday, the 28th, to sign up for the mystery program. Okay, let's get into this Aries new moon. So I literally just got back from the gym, and then I felt, I've been doing this new routine because of the spring equinox. I was like, I feel like hanging out with you guys, so put some sage on and decided to film the video literally the day that I'm going to be posting it. So the first thing you need to know about this April new moon in Aries on April 1st, 2022 is that this is not a time to make big decisions. Anger can create this uncertainty in your clarity. And I'm going to kind of break that down, that download that I receive. So with this is during the Aries, it's a very fiery sign, and there's a lot of fiery things happening up. So it is going to be normal around the Aries new moon for the collective to be more angry. And it's just because we're more fiery, we feel like we want to be independent, we want our freedom. These words keep coming up when I tapped into the Aries new moon on April 1st, 2022. So you're going to see a lot of uproar that's going to be happening in your community, in the global aspect of things. But then you're also going to see that kind of ripple within you. So really looking into understanding when you can be in a clear mind to make a decision. Because during the new moon in Aries, Spirit is really going to be pushing you to make some decisions that I'm going to kind of connect back into the third point. But just remember that this is not a time to make hasty decisions. Let's pull out a card because I feel called to pull a card to kind of confirm with this. And let's just ask Spirit why it's not, a good time to make these hasty decisions and what they need to know about this Aries new moon. And as I say that, the sage is like surrounding me in my aura. Flexibility. So we got flexible. So being flexible with just your surroundings, with your decisions, being okay and not going straight to reacting out of anger if your decisions have to be switched a little bit. Not getting out of anger if you might have to come to a space of tapping into being more independent, for those who are in a space of dependency right now. whether that's emotionally, physically. Aries new moon's really going to shake up the world a little bit, and that's okay. And that anger is just going to be a way that you're going to be able to release that. But in doing that, don't make that anger turn into your decisions. And like I said, that's why the download that came up for me when I was sitting with the Aries new moon is that anger can create unclarity in one's certainty. And I saw this in a movie, actually. It wasn't this phrase exactly, but I just summarized it to that when we are angry, we just see red. Like when I see someone's aura's red and their body is red, they're just so enraged. It doesn't matter what you will tell them, they won't want to listen to it. So the Aries new moon is all about understanding that we need to allow ourselves in a healthy space to release that energy of anger and, you know, holding space to release, which brings me to my second point of what you need to know about this April new moon in Aries on April 1st, 2022. Find activities where you can release anger and you can release stress. So you're more likely, for those who have blood pressure, like this is going to be a time where you might be able to feel this increase of flow because of your anger. So really understanding, you know, how can I lower that, you know, whether that's going to hot yoga and having a healthy way of releasing anger, pillow screaming, shaking the body, dancing and moving your feeling of the body. It's not about how you look with your dancing. We're not at a party. It's about how you feel when you're dancing. So tuning into that and going into cardio, you know, those are going to be some good things. Pillow punching, something that will allow you to release that. And then from there, you want to bring it down a little bit and lower it. So bringing in meditation, listening to theta waves is going to be really good to relax you. But knowing that for some of you, I'm splitting it because I have to know that this is a collective reading, right? It's a collective reading for the April new moon. So some of you, it's being called to release that stress, you know, not allow that to create an increase of, you know, lack of sleep and being able to stay up all night because you're so stressed, like your mind's going, but your body is exhausted. That's kind of the feeling I feel for some. And then this Aries new moon is also going to do the opposite, where it's going to call some of you to kind of take a sit back a little bit. And your anger and stress is something that is being self-induced based on the pressure you're putting on yourself to make certain decisions that are coming into your field during this Aries new moon. So again, really sitting with yourself and saying, am I feeling like I need to release anger? Does it feel like my cup is full? And do I need to let that go for me to have clarity and to be more flexible with the perspective, having the spirit eagle to see what I need to really look at here in my reality? Or am I number two, where I'm feeling that I need to just relax and I'm putting this self-induced anger because I'm putting anxiety on myself, I'm putting pressure on myself. So let me know down below which one you feel that you are. Maybe you're both, but I do feel like this Aries new moon is going to bring that energy to you for sure. I want to pull out one card on this, on releasing anger and what our family needs to know, what we need to know about that. Card flipped right away. Thinker. Okay, so it's definitely repeating what I mentioned here. So don't overthink too much is one of the things that I'm feeling with this card. I'm gonna actually read this one. So it's 44. Oh my gosh. Guys, it's so funny because I was doing the live with you all for the spring equinox and we got 8s, that energy of 8s, and then I posted this thing on Instagram on 8s. And then we have the 44, which is 8 again. So we have 4s and 8s. Anyone seeing 4s and 8s, let me know down below. This might be your card for you, for you to extra listen, you know, really listen. Strategy, being analytical and logical. The ability to reason, strategize, and focus now. Take things into face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove that it to be correct. And for a moment, there is a deeper meaning than what is the obvious. So this is why I'm saying broaden your perspective, you know. You taking that release of anger, you actually not being hasty is actually a smarter thing to do energetically, like emotionally, because when you aren't going from that space, I think people think logical is thinking more. Like I was talking to a sister the other day and she was going through a really hard time releasing X, just energy. You know, I'm sure some of you can relate to that right now. And one of the things that I told her was like, you don't need to overthink it. You just need to sit with it. And that's what I mean. For some of you, that's why I said some of you need to release that anger. And even after you release it with cardio, with hot yoga, you're going to feel it still. Maybe you still need to sit with it because there's some clarity that's going to happen. There's some transformation that's happening behind that. There's something that your shadow is sharing with you. It's something that spirit's sharing with you. And for some of you that are, you know, having this self-sabotaging, like wanting to push this anger on yourself, allowing the mind, because the mind can be so powerful, but know that you have that power. You have that power to allow your mind to shift. So here it's really saying that it's actually more logical to just allow that to come through, allow that medicine to come through here. And by doing that, you will then be able to know when your next move is. And this could be your next move of a new beginning, because we just had the spring equinox. This is huge, which I'm going to talk about. And also this can also be just this newness of you still at the end of shedding, because you know, end of March is really the beginning of the year in the astrology calendar. So a lot of people think it's January, and for some people, I believe from February to March is really the beginning of the year. So really thinking about, if you feel like this ending, this cycle, we're coming out of, you know, winter season. A lot of us are coming in that space. Our days are getting longer. So we're coming out of this like feeling of sadness, feeling of griefs, feeling of shadow work, feeling of the dark night of the soul. And now it's like we're entering into this space of, okay, now let's start to just think, take that time. I know it's been a lot. I know we've released a lot. I know that we want this independence. I know we want this freedom, but we can stick it out. I know we can. And I feel you fully, because I had the dark night of the soul moment for the past 2 weeks last week, and spirit was just saying, we're shedding all of this. You know, we're shedding everything that we need to, so we can prepare you for what is to come. So this is really huge. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple, and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. So remember that life is a playground. Don't take it so seriously. And that's why spirit, with this Aries new moon on April 1st, 2022, it's all about not getting held and attached to the anger, not getting attached to the fire energy. You know, we have to know that the 4 elements that we have air, we have fire, we have water, we have earth, and that's what we have in the astrology as well. But we have to understand that these elements work together, they flow together, they know when to let the water and the rain come, and when to let the sun come, and when to allow that to absorb into the earth, and when the earth needs more grounding, more water, more cleansing, more sun. So it's like, enjoy life, enjoy the playfulness of it. Have you been more playful? This is something that's coming up, like transmuting this fiery energy, because maybe this anger is coming up because you're putting so much pressure on yourself with those new beginnings. I'm channeling right now, so I won't remember, with these new beginnings. And with that, it's almost like you don't even give yourself permission to be your inner child. And this makes me so happy, because the mystery program is literally everything I just said. That full sentence, if that sat with you, message me, I'm ready for the great mystery, because this is this is literally that fire energy. You're gonna scream when you go into the program. But all this to say is, have you given yourself permission to play? Like, are you taking this a little too logical, like too like wounded masculine, too like in control? Or are you actually allowing yourself to make the right decision by just observing, and then waiting for that moment, waiting for that green light from yourself, from your higher self, and from spirit? And then you don't even need to look back. So that's what this Aries energy is about, is that confidence. You're getting like this passage, this initiation of confidence in your life. And it's a new beginning. It's this new feeling. For some of you, you haven't felt this for a while. For others, it feels like surreal, like we're getting free. Like, what is happening after all these couple years, 3 years, whatever years you've been on this journey? We're getting freedom. We're getting inner confidence, inner clarity. What? So it's almost like we need this crazy volcano to happen, and then we will hit to that point of transmutation, that point of downloading what we need to figure out in this point of our life. The next thing you need to know about this April new moon in Aries on April 1st, 2022, is that be flexible with your perspective and allow things to be fixed by your guides and guardians. So there's something that I'm going to say that's very simple, and I'm going to take the Work Your Light card. I like barely pull these as much anymore, but they're still my favorite, and I'm going to pull one out because I'm feeling this really resonates. there's going to be some things that you won't be able to fix, and spirit is meant to fix it. You know, I find sometimes we want things so badly, and it's like, as much as we want it, we can only receive it the way it is, right? Life is a playground. Remember, you don't plan as a child what part of the playground you want to play. You discover, you have fun, you might play a game, you like play in the sandbox, you enjoy that aspect of it. There's this thrill of not knowing what is next. But all of a sudden, as we turn into an adult, it's almost like, now we need to figure out and put all this pressure on ourselves. But remember, pressure on ourselves in the sense of we know what we want to attain, what we want to manifest. We're putting energy. It's not pressure. It's attention to. It's energetic responsibility. It's transferring that energy to what you want to create in those new beginnings. So with this, the angel, the card that we got for you guys is awakening, energetic upgrades, and new ways of being an integration. So some of you guys are integrating some deep medicine, and with that, it's causing you to still feel some things from the full moon that we just had. So the full moon in Virgo was all about imperfection. And if you didn't see that video, I did a video on that. I'll link it here, or you guys can go check that out. That was all about, how do we feel perfect? Who put pressure on us on perfection? And it's almost like when we start something new, a little bit of that old voice comes in to test us a bit. But just know that it's just temporary. Remember, detachment of that, not bypassing. The difference between detachment and bypassing is avoiding something. Detachment is letting go of something that no longer serves us. So keep this in mind. Bypassing, spiritual bypassing, is avoidance. You know you need to do something, you're avoiding it with workaholicism, or you're avoiding it with TV or food or other things that you do in the materialistic world. Detaching, I feel, in a spiritual and energetic way, is where you let go of something. You literally like cord cut it. It's done. You understand the end of it. There's an inner piece of that. When I use that word, when I'm sharing that with my clients or even with you guys here, it's like this, like, it's done. So this April new moon's all about you're integrating. There's like things are coming up into the field. And even though it feels like there's this little voice that is familiar, yet you just, it's distracting you, focus on where you are now. Focus on being in this now. Focus on where you can find groundingness even in the moment of this fiery energy. And remember that freedom. Remember that confidence. You're going to be walking that Aries energy. It's like hot girl summer energy. That's what I feel. It's that energy. Like I'm saying this because I just went to the gym, and I literally put the intention. I'm going to share this with you guys because I feel like this will resonate. So when I went through my trauma, and this will probably ignite for a lot of you, I noticed that a lot of things were going on with me and my body. And I tried to use my body as a shield. And I see this a lot with clients. And I'm having this deeper awakening, as I mentioned, energetic upgrade, where I'm starting to understand that I'm detaching myself, that my body is too sensual. My body is attracting that attention to the wounded masculine. And there's a deeper layer of independence in saying, this is my energy, this is my boundary. I am honoring this body, this being. It's like that beautiful, like Durga Kali energy. That's what I'm feeling. So again, be flexible with your perspective. Be flexible with the understanding that you're not going to get all of the answers. And there is some great mystery that some things you aren't meant to deal with. Some things are just meant for divine. And no matter how much you want to fix something, you just know in your core, in your intuition, that you just have to let it be. And for some of you, it might feel weird. Like you just have to let it be, that this is as far as you can go. You can't go back to the person who really hurt you, or the friendship that wasn't in alignment, or the parent that just wasn't there for you emotionally. You can't go back to that. And you can allow that anger. You have full permission to allow that anger of your inner child, your teen self, your adult self, whatever part of yourself that's coming up. But know that as long as you are in this present now and do what you can, getting those active, activities, yoga, getting the body just moving, releasing that anger, pillow screaming, pillow punching, letting it go so you can enter that space of missing that grief that's behind that anger. And in doing that, then that can open up to more divine love. So call in your guides, call in your guardians. And the shadow work prompt that's coming up for me is, how can I surrender to my guides to open my perspective? How can I surrender to my guides to open my perspective? So let that sit and feel into that. The next thing you need to know about this April new moon in Aries on April 1st, 2022, is that don't be afraid to admit that you are wrong. Independence doesn't mean that you have to pretend that you have everything together. So I'm gonna pull a card on this. This is like hitting to the bone, because I think a lot of us, when we start something new, there's that essence of we need to get everything right, and we put so much pressure on ourselves because whatever our story was, whatever our way of seeing our perspective of our life was, or the pressure we had from certain adults as a younger self, or whatever may have you, right? So let's pull out these cards that just fell out. So we have co-create and time to go. So time to go is really hitting for me, because what I'm seeing here with this April new moon in Aries is, don't be afraid to admit what is wrong. So a lot of the times when we're in this independence, there's a duality. Remember, yeah, Aries is very independent. They got that, you know, hot being summer, like hot girl summer, hot day summer, like this being like that kind of energy. But there's also this energy of letting go. There's this energy of releasing. So here it's all about, this new moon's usually new beginnings, it is, but knowing that with a new beginning, we are also shedding one thing in return. It's like this energetic exchange that we're doing. So time to go is like time to let go of whatever that essence is, that we feel that we have to be perfect, that we can't be wrong. And for some of us, this is going to be hard to sit with. I know for me, it took a while to sit with this. We aren't always right, and that is okay. You're not always perfect, and that is okay. But I'm willing to start this new beginning knowing that that's life, and it's a playground. It's supposed to be messy. It's supposed to be fun. And when I overanalyze too much, I'm stripping away that fun. So you can still be independent and play where you want to be in life and where it feels aligned to you in this present moment. But when you pretend like you have everything going, you're stepping out of your truth. You're stepping out of your being, because that's where the shadow, the ego, is being fed. So again, make sure you're just really sitting with that double-edged sword. You're balancing that confidence, but don't allow that confidence to overdrive in the ego. Sit in that front seat with the ego, okay? We don't want the ego in a Lamborghini around town, okay? We want the ego to be really in this alignment and energetic kind of space. And what I mean is, you know, when people say ego death, your ego never dies fully. It's there to help us sometimes. But here, what it's helping you doing is it's helping you, allow you to have the confidence to release that anger, to release that feeling that you have to hide being angry, and allow yourself to be in a safe space to do so in those activities I shared, but then also allowing yourself to have the confidence to start these new beginnings, these new routines, which we talk into going into the next thing you need to know about this April, you know, new moon in Aries. I love how all the points just flow. It just feels really good. So great time to create new habits and routines. So we had the spring equinox. If you haven't watched that video, I did a live, which I talked about what is the spring equinox, you know, like what to expect for this year in 2022. So if you want to go check that out, you can. I also do a drumming meditation initiation for you at the end, which is very powerful, very short too, but beautiful. So, with this one, from starting March 20th until April 1st, we're seeing the depth of the Aries. It's really like going into a deeper, Aries continues obviously in the month, but in this specific pocket, this is where we see that we can create new habits. So if there's anything that you are causing to procrastinate, you're not wanting to create, and this is co-create, this card came out before, and we have some tiger, lion energy, jaguar energy I'm feeling here. So this is a great time to start bringing in some of those new friends, new connections, and having an accountability buddy. So this is a great time to have like, hey, let's have an accountability that we're gonna both, you know, wake up early, or we're gonna both meditate together. Like I have a sister, we meditate almost every single day together in the morning. It's really helped me with my shadow work. You know, whether it is you wanna join the Facebook group, we have a Facebook group that is for community. If you want to join that, you can check that out as well. That's down below. or Quartz Vortex, which is a healing community for a whole year, and you get access to all my programs, so including the mystery as well. So all those things, you just really want to have accountability around this time. So this time is also a time to using this energy to get you back on track and not bypassing what needs to change into your life. So for example, for me, my body has been something I'm having a newer relationship. I'm just giving an example. Let's face it, with everything with the world and all of the things happening, it's been hard. I haven't had a consecutive like gym workout. And as growing up as an athlete, that was really shocking for my body. And it got to a point like this spring equinox, the wake up call that spirit was telling me was like, your body is your temple. And it doesn't mean that I have to be this like crazy bodybuilder, but what it means is that you need to focus on your body, because that is going to be the vessel of you creating this energy space. And your energetic body is like, whoo, it's there, it's good. But your physical body, sometimes as spiritual beings on this journey, we forget that our physical body needs some love and tender as well, right? Because our soul is specifically meant for this physical being. So again, I would really highly suggest you thinking of as a shadow work prompt for this April new moon in Aries on April 1st, 2022, is thinking about what are some new routines I can create and commit to for myself. And using that confidence to actually visualize yourself being in that. And like, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to be doing a meditation. I'm posting about that for you guys. So making sure that you do that. And then we have not for you. So again, this is interesting. This new moon's all about shedding. Usually it's new beginnings, but it's showing a lot of like what's not for you. So really being, you know, what's the word? It's there. It's on the end of my tongue. Honest with yourself on what is not for you, because if you can do that, that's going to really help you in the long run. And I'm going to actually read this card because I love it. A clear knowing that something is being denied to you. Rejection is God's protection. So just knowing that, you know, divine, universe, whatever that you connect with, is that they're saying that whatever you're being declined by, that detour of those decisions and why the decisions are taking a little bit longer, but at the meantime, because of the Aries energy is very much more confident, much more direct, they're going to be fixed quickly. Okay, but don't overreact. So again, I'm just reminding you about that. But understanding with these new beginnings, these new habits, this isn't for you. Spirit's just being honest. It's nothing against you. They're protecting you, if anything, by sharing this new knowledge that you're going to be getting during this April new moon in Aries. I have an extra one for you guys before I wrap up this video. So this is all about sleep hygiene is crucial at this time. So as I mentioned before, you know, a lot of you, stress can be much more easier to be ignited during the new moon in Aries, because, you know, you're starting new things, there's new energy, it's spring, you know, our days are getting longer, our body's starting to get used to the type of days we're having. You know, it's a little bit brighter when we wake up, and days aren't like, it's not dark at 4. So, you know, our body's going through things, but also our energetic bodies. So it's so important that we have some kind of routine. And one thing that's been really helping me, that will really help you during this Aries new moon, is just really minimizing your screen time, whether that's putting a limit on it or really making sure that you're writing down and making a checklist of what you do before bed. Like, are you meditating? Are you doing a full facial skincare? Are you sitting with yourself in silence? Like, what are some things that you're doing that is not going to increase your dopamine, which is all about like watching TV, sugars, salts, all that stuff. That's not what you need right now. I know it's what we crave, because I feel you with that, but that's not what we need. So let's see if there's a ancestral card that we have here for you, loves. We have 3. Oh, you guys are going to scream. These cards are meant for us, and what a way to end. So we have seer, see beyond the current situation. Okay, I love this card. Okay, and I'm gonna read the seer one for you, loves. Look beyond the current situation and raise your vibration and focus on love. Again, don't look at the anger, focus on the love in the aspect. So most Indigenous people have a seer in the family or tribe. Seers are intelligent, intuitive beings who serve a direct channel of information on what's occurring now and what's about to unfold. Their energy isn't about predicting the future for you, but about showing you how your intentions are creating it. So knowing that co-creating card is like your intention during this Aries new moon is all about, this is what's going to create this impact you know, literally 6 months from now, 6 months from this Aries new moon, you're gonna see those really flourish, right? And spring's about setting seeds. So April, this whole Aries new moon is all about putting seeds in for this whole year. It's setting those seeds. So be true, a true seer will help you see that your intentions can change, therefore your future can as well. So knowing that the more we detach from the anger, that lower vibration that's pulling us down, and we attach more on where we want to go, the more that we'll be able to, you know, basically transmute that anger and that frustration and that detour of decisions into love, into clarity, into understanding of why we need to start these new beginnings. The next card we have is summer. So we got 2 season cards. So I'm going to just really highlight, I'm going to connect them both. The bee is a symbol of abundance. So I know a lot of you guys are probably focusing on that right now as I've read some of your comments between the spring equinox and everything. So let's look at this one and see what we have for us. Rise up and open your wings and shine. Bring your projects and plans out into the light and manifestation. Some of you are shielding what you want to create because of the confidence. And like I said, Aries new moon is going to kick that lack of confidence out the window, and you're gonna get this new fresh feeling, this fresh air. Summer has always been recognized as a time of joy, of going into adventure and making memories. Flowers are blooming, animals are enjoying the freedom and the wild summer days of nights, and people are taking holidays, basking in the sunshine and being lifted energetically. There's this feeling of freedom, there's this freedom and excitement. So this summer card represents where you're going. So feel, what do you want to feel when you receive these manifestations? What do you want to feel when you get that joy? You know, even though you're in this ending and you're starting, still feel this happiness. You still have this free will to focus on that happiness and to bring that in. And then spring is the other card, which is see your seeds grow. It's just really bringing, and there's the beautiful rabbit, which is luck. Okay, so what we're having here is the luck of where you're going. So once you put your seeds in, you're making your own luck during this new moon in Aries. So what is the luck that we're going to bring? Let's read this. Embrace the change that is in the horizon and allow your dreams to become reality. Spring is exciting and time because it is much about potential. Animals are coming out of the hibernation, flowers are plushing out through the soil, and the days are getting lighter and brighter. The spring card features a wild here because of the Celtic animal medicine. It brings intuition and rebirth. Anyone feeling rebirth? Let me know down below. I'm feeling rebirth, and I'm rebirthing myself into a high vibrational being. I love that mantra. Here's our highly fertile and beings, and do have this medicine that brings the dreams to life. So really coming into what dreams you want to foster so you can enjoy that joy when summer comes, when the beautiful sun is on your face, when you're at the beach, when you're going on holidays. Just knowing that even though we've been in hibernation for so long, what feels like a long time, that spring is finally here. And we can focus on, this is a start of some more joy in our life, more happiness, and you just need to ask. You know, it's like that feeling of the genie or Cinderella when they're asking, what's your wish? What are your wishes, Spirit saying? So seed in what you want. Don't make hasty decisions just yet. Reflect. This new moon's all about reflection. Focus on that so much, okay? So I really hope you guys enjoyed this reading. This was a very thorough reading on what you need to know about this April new moon in Aries on April 1st, 2022. Let me know down below what resonates with you, what came through for you. And also don't forget to join the mystery program. It is $88 until the 28th of March. Once it's announced, the energetic price will change. So you can still enroll, but it's going to be awesome. And it's going to be in the second week of April, starts at the end of the week. So that's all you know is the energetic exchange. And when it starts, if you're ready to hold your spot, just DM me on Instagram. I'm ready for the great mystery, and then I will make sure that you hold your spot. And before we end this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, put notification bell so you don't miss a video. And I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful, amazing Aries new moon, and I wish you all the rebirth, all the abundance, all the happiness and joy, and all your seeds to come into fruition. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Healing is non-linear, and sometimes it can be overwhelming trying to move through it. I want to invite you to 365 days of healing, where we deep dive into understanding how to heal it all, becoming a master of your healing. So join me in the Quartz Vortex, a space where community, shadow work, healing, and expansion beyond the means of where you see it right now can enter into your life. This is a full year where everything that you ever wanted can be in your hands right now.